You're not failing in the gym because of a big mistake. You're failing because you're making 100 tiny acceptable mistakes that compound. In manufacturing, this kills machines. In the gym, it kills physiques. Engineers call it tolerance stack up. And by the end of this, you're going to audit your own system and find exactly where your stack is breaking down. Final year mechanical engineering, 4.0 GPA. I also went from 120 pounds skinny fat to 160 pounds of muscle, not by finding the perfect program, but by treating my body like a system that I could actually engineer. Same thinking, different domain. If that makes sense to you, we're gonna get along just fine. First, I'm gonna give you a quick explanation on a topic in design engineering so that the advice later in the video is that much harder to forget. When creating a part, engineers have to look at something called the tolerance stack up. If you don't know what a tolerance is, it's basically how much bigger or smaller a certain dimension on a part can be. For example, right here, the total length of the part can be 4 inches plus or minus 0.02 inches. So it could be 3.98 or it could be 4.02. Anything bigger than that, then the part technically fails because it's too big. A tolerance stack up is adding up dimensions to reveal any variations in the part that could cause the part to fail. So for example, what if these smaller dimensions in the part cause the part to become way too big? So right here, this 1 and this 2. If this 1 is at its biggest, so 1.01, and this 2 is at its biggest, so 2.02, that means this distance is something, I don't know, I'm not going to do the math right now. If it's at those measurements, is this distance being smaller gonna cause the part to fail? This thing kind of looks like a gasket for a car. If this gasket goes into an engine for a car, but it doesn't fit because it's too big or it's too small, the assembly failed. The accumulation of small things caused an assembly to fail. So what does a tolerance stack up look like in bodybuilding? Well, in the gym, you cannot let a buildup of tiny little inconsistencies cause you to get less gains in the end or even cause you to go towards an injury. A design engineer looks at their tolerance stack up to check if the worst case for the part still works. Bodybuilders do the same thing with their fitness. So for like example, missing meals or even having cheat meals. Are you missing meals every now and then? Are you eating unhealthily? Are you eating really good for 5 days in the week, so for the weekdays, but then the weekend comes and you're like, you know what? I ate really good. Let me just splurge. Let me just eat whatever I want. Let me go eat that pizza. Let me go eat those cookies or whatever. And to go back just a little bit, let's say if you're bulking, are you missing meals? When you're bulking, you need to put on more weight. You need to eat in a caloric surplus. If you're missing meals, that's going to be so much harder. Whenever I was bulking, I was missing meals left and right. I was missing meals so often. Throughout the week, I would maybe miss like 5 or 6 meals because I just was like, you know what? I don't feel like eating. I don't feel like going out to go grab something. I don't feel like making anything. But the buildup of those little inconsistencies led me to get delayed progress. So you need to ask yourself, are you missing meals? Are you eating too many cheat meals? Another thing that you can look at is, are you cutting sleep by 1 hour at a time? So let's say it's the nighttime, it's the evening. Let's say you plan to go to sleep at 10 p.m. and you want to sleep from 10 to 6, so 8 hours in bed. And you just plan for 8 hours in bed, but every night you just keep going to sleep at 11 because you just get that whiff of energy and you just want to be productive, which is good. But throughout the whole week, you just lost 7 hours of sleep. When you lose 7 hours of sleep, that's 7 hours less you're recovering. And if you don't recover good enough, if you don't recover well enough, you will make less gains in the gym. Another thing that even I struggle with is rushing into heavy sets without warming up, without a proper warm up. So literally today, while I was doing squats, I did a few reps with just a barbell, and then I went straight to 135, and then I went straight to 225. That was probably not smart of me. I probably should have done a bit more of a warm up. On my second set of 245, I wanted to go for like, I don't even know, I don't even remember what it was, but I wanted to go for another rep. So I went down and then I just fell. I couldn't get it up, so I had to bail. That probably wouldn't have happened if I warmed up properly. If I would have warmed up my muscles properly, they would have been ready for that set. And the last thing that you need to check is probably the biggest thing, skipping workouts. Also, just some, because it's similar, skipping certain muscle groups. If you're anything like me, I know that you're probably skipping abs, or you're probably like skipping rear delts, or you're skipping forearms. trust me, bro, you need to hit these muscle groups. If you don't hit those muscle groups, they won't get that big. Like my forearms aren't that big because I skipped them a lot, because I didn't really hit them consistently up until around 6 months ago. And now I also hit abs consistently, and I'm getting progress because I'm hitting the muscle group now. I'm making the muscle group bigger because I'm hitting it. If you don't hit the muscle group, it doesn't get any bigger. And the same thing goes for skipping workouts. If you're skipping workouts every now and then, that's okay, because I know it's impossible to go to the gym every day of the week, or it's impossible to go to the gym every day that you want it to go. But you need to be consistent with it. You can't just skip the gym because you don't feel like going. Like it's a gloomy day outside, it's raining, you don't want to get out of bed. You need to get out of bed. You need to go to the gym. That is the day that is going to separate you from the rest of the people. Go through that list again if you have to. Run the tolerance stack up on your fitness routine. When these habits happen every now and then, it's okay. If you skip abs every now and then, dude, trust me, it's okay. It'll be fine. I'll keep it a secret in between us. But whenever these habits compound together, whenever they happen at the same time, that's when it gets bad. That's when your progress stalls. Comment below if you've thought of any other things that you should watch out for the bodybuilding tolerance stack up. You know what to do. Get up and get after it.